Hi friends, so we're here at Biohacking Congress and we continue to explore innovative technologies and devices for health support, and we are going to explore some great device. We will discuss this with Jeff Maier, who is co-founder of Rapid Release Therapy. How did you start this company, and did you create this technology by yourself or with your partner, and how did you get this idea to create it? For what purpose?
First off, it wasn't my idea. It was Dr. Stanley Stanbridge. He's a chiropractor, and he had every gadget known to man, every therapeutic modality. And a lot of them worked for a lot of parts of the body, but nothing was universal that worked on everything. And he just had this thought in his mind that there's got to be something out there that can do this. And out of all his gadgets, his favorite was the vibration plates because there was a lot of science behind it. And they're pleasurable to work on. You can do workouts on it and everything. But he wanted to make something higher vibration, higher frequency. And so he created a prototype, and we tried it, and the results were just off the charts. And he couldn't believe it, so he made another one for his friend, and his friend got the same results. And so he knew he had something there. And I had an invention myself, and one of the guys that I helped him start his company told me to go talk to Dr. Stanbridge about it. And when I did, I showed him my invention, and then he showed me his invention. And I go, I like your invention better than mine. So we formed a company, and I provided the capital and the sales and marketing expertise, and I wanted him to just stay in the lab and develop products.
How long time ago that was?
10 years ago. And so we had this ugly prototype, and we weren't really trying to sell it, but the word got out, and we sold 4,000 of them just by word of mouth.
Just for prototype, yeah?
Yeah, ugly prototype. And people didn't care. We had a money-back guarantee. We never got our money back. And so then we developed this next generation one that has 5 different treatment heads on it. And that one, we've sold about 30,000, and mainly to practitioners. But it's interesting. We only target practitioners, but when people go in and get a treatment, then they call us up and they say, I want to buy one of these. I don't care how much it costs. So it's been a great ride for 10 years. And we just came out. This is a prototype of this new cordless one that we're building. And we expect great things from this. It's just a really fun ride because we get calls every day from people saying the miracles that they're working with this device. And, you know, it's so rewarding to be in this kind of field and to be around biohackers. I feel like such a kindred spirit with everybody because these are people that want to get the most out of life, and mentally, physically, spiritually. And it's just a great crowd to be at. And that's why biohacking shows are always my favorite ones. And
yeah. You said that a lot of science behind this. What kind of science behind this do you mean?
Well, in the vibration plate, there's a lot of science that NASA did because they were the ones that developed it for people that have been in microgravity for a long time. And, you know, the gravity like that, it really helps our bodies flush. Our lymphatic system works on gravity and movement, and this does both. And but the frequency that we settled on is 147 hertz, and that's because Dr. Nogier, who's very well respected in the traditional Chinese medicine space, he wrote in his book that scar tissue vibrates at 147 hertz. So we figured, let's try it at that frequency, and it just blew us away. It's
what happens on that frequency? What happens inside our body?
Well, there's a thing called resonance. Now, we can't make that claim that we resonate with scar tissue because it's really hard to prove. But from the results that we've seen, it's pretty obvious that that's what it does. Scar tissue is made out of type 3 collagen, but so is ligaments, tendons, and fascia. And so those are the part of our body that where all of our pain sensors are. And it's hard to heal that because there's very little blood flow. And so it really needs external stimulus to heal. And
so it stimulates very deep levels of our tissue, of our skin, right? Muscles.
Well, vibration waves travel very easily through blood, fat, and skin. And when they hit something with a higher protein content, the waves tend to attenuate on those. So it dumps its energy into the high protein content. So if you look at ligaments, tendons, fascia, and scar tissue, that's the type of tissue in our body that the vibration really goes to. So it doesn't matter how deep it is. It can go through blood, fat, or skin as far as it needs to until it hits something that it dumps its energy into. And if it hits bones, it reflects that energy off the bones. One thing that we did find out later is that there's an effect, a neurological effect called the tonic vibration reflex that happens when you vibrate muscles between 100 and 200 times a second. And if you do that, it pulls on the muscle spindles at that frequency, and it stimulates the eye afferent nerves, and that they release what are they called? Alpha neurons that instantly relax spasms, cramps, and muscle guarding.
Yeah, it's really a lot of science behind this. Can you explain from perspective of just general people what kind of benefits they will get after using this device, and also how often they should use, and in what cases they should use this device? So let's talk a little bit not about science, but for just general people, how they can understand when they should use and how often and what benefits they will have.
Well, the beauty about this device is it works on just about any kind of musculoskeletal pain, and we're actually FDA cleared for pain, so we're the only device out there that does that. And it's very easy to use it yourself, and it's only moving 1.5 millimeters. So it's you can't hurt yourself. We've never had an injury with it. You can put it up here on your sinuses. Vibration equalizes pressure. So
yes, it's such big, but it's not only for your back or legs or hands. It also can be used for your face and
jaws,
for neck.
Small muscles in the jaws. You can use it on your for acupressure points. We have at least 500 acupuncturists that love it, because people that don't like needles, they can use this instead. And a lot of acupuncturists, they put it on the spot before they put the needle in to get better effects. And since it's vibrating so fast, you can use it on fingers, you can use it on knuckles, any place where you have pain, and it doesn't push your hand away. If you try to do that with one of the slower devices, they're kind of punching you. Yeah. So those type of devices have been around for 120 years, from the first mechanical vibration devices, and all of them are the same. Even today, the Theragun Hyperice, they have a 5/8 stroke, and they're going about 30 or 40 hertz. We're going about 5 times that fast. So those devices are really good for the belly of the muscle, the main part, but there's not too many problems that happen in the belly of the muscle. The problems usually happen at the end points. And so they're not really good for using, on small parts of the body and the ligaments and tendons, especially tendons, because tendons have very little circulation, and to heal a tendon, you really have to increase the circulation there. In fact, there was a horse, American Pharaoh, that won the first Triple Crown in 37 years. And that horse was lame. And they tried to auction him off. They couldn't even get the minimum bid for him. The trainer put this on his tendon and healed his suspensory pull. And he went on to win the first Triple Crown in 37 years. So Nebraska Equine Performance Institute was like, what just happened? And they did a study on it. And they found out that this gives 10 times the microcirculation in tendons than any other modality.
So as far as I understand, it's totally different device from any other devices for massage, and the frequency is very different, and you cannot injure you with this vibration.
The amplitude is very small.
The amplitude is very small.
It goes as deep as it needs to. In the talk I'm giving today, we're going to talk about all the different effects that vibration has on our body at the cellular level and even at the molecular level. There's a lot of studies now that show that sound vibration helps differentiate stem cells, and also the skeleton of the cell is actually the brains of the cell, and that's where it takes all the different inputs. And anyone that knows epigenetics knows that it's the environment that the cells live in that really determine the outcome, the output of the cells, more than the genetics do. And so it's very interesting what we see with, like, what happens with the ion channels, and the stimulating nitrous oxide is very susceptible to vibration, and it really distributes that nitrous oxide around the body. And there's just a lot of good that happens from this. And they don't understand they see the results, but they don't understand the mechanism, what had happened, how that occurs. So there's a whole new field of science called sonocytal or something like that. It's about the study of sound on the cells. And they have measuring devices now where they can measure it.
And it is FDA approved?
It is FDA approved, and we're, I think, the only device that is FDA approved. And we've got a lot of patents on the mechanism of movement and the speeds.
So it is patented and it is unique technology.
Yes, and it's made in the USA.
Yeah, unique technology made in USA and recommended by Biohacking Congress and by me personally.
It's in the wand format as opposed to a gun format. The gun format kind of jacks your hand up. And like I said, it's really good for the belly of the muscles, but that's not where a lot of the problems are. And this you can work on just any part of your body, and you can do it yourself, behind the back or, on your neck. And a lot of people that have headaches, we just go around the hat line a few times. There's some meridian lines on the top of the head and about a ½ inch on either side. And it really feels great on the neck. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this that you couldn't do with any other device.
As far as I understand, any kind of pain, even if you had headache or some pain in muscles after exercising or even after injury, you can use it, yeah? That's
what it's designed for. Now, one thing that a lot of people have is tight IT bands, and we get so many great results. It only takes a few minutes. The IT band is a big, long muscle or band of tendon, and when you're exercising, you're breaking up any cross-fiber adhesion on the belly of the muscle. But right where it plugs into your knee and right where it plugs into your hips, it only takes about 2 or 3 minutes to really release that, and we get huge improvements very quickly.
So session 3-5 minutes already helps.
Actually, even quicker than that sometimes. It really depends on the size of the body part. We have a lot of small muscles like in our hands, and a lot of times those free up in like less than a minute. I like getting an hour treatment and just all over my body and every single square inch of my body. And that was a game changer for me because when I had that done, I had a fusion in my low back, so I was always getting tight. And I'd use this on it, and it was great because I could go all day. But then I'd wake up next morning and I'd have it. And when this massage therapist, she did my whole top of my body, and then she had me flip over and she did the whole back of my body. And then she had me flip over the third time. When I did that, I heard my back and all these bones were just like snapping and cracking in place. And then she walked around, she pulled on my arms and legs and fingers and toes. And there must have been 100 cracks. And ever since then, my pain hasn't really come back. I mean, now it's once a week I do a tune-up instead of a couple times a day.
I think everyone needs this device at home, and it's actually very convenient to use, very portable. You can take it with you when you travel. Yes? Yes. And I guess it is for everyone and for kids as well.
Yes, and pets. I use it on my cat.
Pets! Even for pets.
But one thing that I didn't mention is that after you have a whole body massage with it and you loosen up every muscle in your body goes back into homeostasis, into where it should be. So instead of all these muscles like pulling you out and making you go to the chiropractor a lot, with this you can relax all the muscles in your body. And then if you get in a float tank after that and then just let everything go back to normal, it's a real game changer.
Great. Thank you very much. I'm excited by this device. Really recommend. Thank you very much.